Well, good morning. How are you?
How's it going? I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. How do we know each other?
Oh, I think your internet's going out again.
No, what? Already?
Yeah, you're freezing.
How do we know each other?
So I just joined the Better Life Tribe last week. Well, week and a half ago. So
Okay,
just kind of through
welcome.
Brandon, and I know, I know you do a lot of stuff with Brandon Turner, obviously. So, and then I think I might have saw you post something on the Circle app. I think maybe about just wanting to connect. I think you said it had like 20 or something people, and you wanted to get up to like 100 or something. So I forget
I
where I
talked to
saw
a
it. It
lot
might
of
have been so.
I talked to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's actually so that was like really interesting to me because like one of my goals, and it's not one of those goals that like you can measure so to speak, but one of my like overall goals is like I'm an introvert and I'm trying to get to be more extroverted. So I think that's really cool that you're doing this, and I was like, oh well, this is one way I can take a step towards being an extrovert as well. So this is kind of a little bit out of my comfort zone, being an introvert. So it's pretty cool.
I have been doing this for like 5 years. I don't know. I don't get anything out of it necessarily. I just like talking to people. So I just been having a public link for half a freaking decade now, and I love it. But I am
That's
hyper
cool.
extroverted. So
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, like the opposite of me. I'd say definitely introvert. So.
yeah, that's okay. That's a
But
lot of
that's
people.
cool.
It's like half.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
So
feel like no, I just feel like being an introvert, like it's not a bad thing, but it could like limit you. Like if I was an extrovert and like started conversations more often than that, you never know what you can learn or what it could lead to and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, look, it's got its downsides too. I do all the talking, so I don't listen that much, because such an extrovert. I'm just like talk, 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 talk. So everything's got its pros and cons. I think obviously from a networking perspective, extroversion has its benefits for sure, right? Because I'm like, you know, I have this theory. I probably say it on every single call. If anybody was to listen to this podcast every single episode, they'd hear the same thing. People have all the resources. They have all the money. They build all the stuff. They have all the knowledge. It's all people. So, like in that regard, I think of networking as like, access to all the stuff. And so, being an extrovert, it does have a little bit of an advantage. That being said, like I'm not that successful, so it definitely it's not like a secret key like cure all. It's got its downsides. So, I think
why do you say that though? Why do you say you're not that successful?
well, I'm not as successful as I want to be. I think
Okay.
most of the time these days I'm looking for introverts because introverts are better. It's kind of like sales and operations, right? I'm good at sales, but my operations are a disaster. So I
Right.
need
So
the
sales.
introverts to like who are going to sit down, not talk to people and want to, do what I call all the work, right? But the introverts, they look at me, I'm like, dude, I will talk to people and I'll find investors, I'll find customers all day long. So that's for them. I'm doing all the work. So in life, it just takes multiple types of people. I could spend every day on the phone talking to new people, and my cup would be filled. But I don't know if that's productive. Yeah,
Right.
it's just me chatting with people for the sake of it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's pros and cons.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely operations sides. Like I worked for like Home Depot for 15 years. Actually, just eliminated my position late last year, but out in the field for Home Depot, and I was like operations manager, regional operations manager. So it's definitely like spreadsheets and numbers and P and
Oh my
Ls and
god,
all that stuff is
let's be
up my
friends.
alley.
You can probably help me.
No doubt, anytime. Yeah, like I
Where do
have
you live?
like it's funny. So I live in New York. I'm currently in San Diego right now, just on like a long weekend, but um, I live in upstate New York,
Okay.
uh, Kingston, New York. So it's like 90 miles north of New York City.
How far away from you is South Jersey?
South Jersey, 3.5 hours.
All right.
My sister lives in
Well,
Jersey. She's like more northern Jersey, but she's only like an hour and a half from me.
I'm gonna detour this conversation because I have something selfish I want to tell you about.
Yeah, all ears.
I just partnered with a group who lives in South Jersey and well, they live in South Jersey. They have two properties in South Jersey and they have two properties in like Maryland, Kent Island area. And I want to go there and I want to host events at those properties 3 or 4 times a year, big events, and I'm looking for people who, you know, I'm putting you in my little CRM as a tag, just to at least send you an email and say, hey, a bunch of us are going to get down. It's a 1 day event. It's not that expensive, but you go to the property. He has these big luxury event properties, and I'm like, it's a good way to meet people. It's gonna be a good way to, meet other like high level investors, and get to hang out the property, have dinner, have wine and stuff like. I don't know. So I'm trying to build that up. That's why I asked.
Yeah, dude, that all sounds like kind of right up my alley of going towards my goal of becoming more of an extrovert. You know,
Well,
so
good
doing
news.
something like that could help towards my goal.
The good news is that group is full of introverts. They're not ready for me. I'm the loudest I'm the loudest one they've ever met. So there'll be a bunch of other introverts for you to be like, yo, isn't Alex too much? I know, right? You guys can bond over that.
What town is it in? What city is it in?
The next one is, we're gonna do it. So he has these 4 event space properties that are like big luxury event spaces. So the next one is gonna be at Renault. That's in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
Egg Harbor. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So that's on the coast, I think, right?
Yeah,
I think that's on the, yeah. That's a nice area.
yeah, it's a nice area. It's a very nice property. It's 220 acres. It's like a it's
Oh
like a
shit.
$50 million wedding event space that he owns,
That's
and
awesome.
he hosts investor meetings at like events out of there.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
Now, how'd you link up with him?
conferences, bro.
Nice.
I go to like 5 conferences a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the Denver one, Brandon's one
Yes,
in Denver.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
for
pretty
you.
sure.
Good
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Good for you. Go to a lot of them.
It'll be my first one. It'll be my first one. So
Go to a lot of them. They're great. Conferences changed my
yeah,
life.
that's cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you working on? How can I help?
So I mean, that's my main goal of becoming an extrovert. But as far as like you do real estate, right?
Oh yeah, I got 60 doors.
Yeah. 60. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. See, you say you're not successful. I got fucking 4 doors, guy.
You know, comparison is the thief of joy, my friend. The guy who I work with next door has 900 something. No, more than that.
There you
He's
go.
got 900 million in real estate. So like that shit will always make you feel bad if you play that game.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No doubt. No doubt. I'm definitely I mean, and Brandon says it all the time. Like, look back where you were 5 years ago, and like I've lost 70 pounds. So
Bro,
like I
health
meditate
is
daily.
wealth, dude. Health is wealth. Good for you.
Yeah, so like comparably 5 years ago to where I was now, and then I can't wait to see 5 years from now. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
know I'm on
now
the
you're
right
gonna be
track.
70 pounds down and popular. What's up?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, but yeah, just trying to figure out. I mean, my goal for this year, I just did the annual goal on Brandon's worksheet is to go from 4 to 8 units in this year. So um, definitely working on that. I have some. I have like this one property that I partnered on in local to me. Um, that it was like 2 houses on one property where we Airbnb one, long term rent another one, and we're looking to pull cash out of that, clear our HELOCs, and then we'll be locked and loaded to buy some more property this year.
Where do you invest?
Local, so Hudson Valley area. I'm in Hudson Valley, New York, so about 90 miles north of New York City. I mean, I've thought about the outside investing, the out of town investing, that long distance, but I don't know. I know contractors, I know bank people, I just have boots on the ground local to me.
So
It's just
valuable.
like it is. Yeah, like if I need something done, like I know who to call like right away.
That's so valuable.
It it seems like such a tough task if you're if I'm going to invest in fucking Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, some people, if you live in California where it's not possible, I understand. But for most folks like you, upstate New York, I'm like, there's deals there.
Yeah,
There's deals
there
there,
is.
and now you have the advantage. I mean, imagine somebody else trying to come in and make all those relationships. It's like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
a
So
super
I have
advantage.
to leverage that. Yeah. The market is still hot though. Like I gotta get off market leads because like
Of
a
course.
buddy of mine's trying to buy a house right now, and it's still hot. He offered last weekend. He offered 30,000 over asking price, and he didn't get the offer accepted. And I know like a lot of areas are cooling down right now, but this shit's still hot. Everyone from New York City is still moving up, so
That's good.
it's crazy. Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It definitely is. I mean, especially for the equity in my current home. So
Yeah, yeah. So it's hot everywhere, dude. There's not like a market that nobody knows about yet.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. So you live in Maui, right?
I live in Maui.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Rhode Island.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm going to Rhode Island in next month to do a half marathon in Newport.
Yeah, that's good living up there.
Yeah, yeah. My niece lives in Newport. Um, yeah, it'll be my second year in a row doing that. Where in Rhode Island are you from?
Coventry?
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Um,
That's like on the west side, right? West side.
yeah. Yeah, pretty west.
It's
Yep.
like almost on the
Um,
border. Yeah.
yep. But I got out of, I haven't been there in freaking 20 years now. Um, but yeah, living in Maui. I think we're gonna go to Texas next. Yeah.
Like to
It's
live?
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What part?
Austin.
Okay. I've never been there. I always hear, obviously, that everyone says how cool it is. My cousin lives in Dallas. I've been there, but I've not
Yeah,
made it
Dallas is
down to
dope.
Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told you I'm an extrovert. I want to go where all the people are.
Yeah, Austin. That's that's for sure.
There's people there. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Well, shoot. Well, how can I help, dude? I mean, it sounds like you got a plan. You just need to get reps in and find properties.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, like I said, I have a partner. We both have HELOCs. Just need to clear that. Just need to get some off-market properties, which being an extrovert will help with too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Like I heard, what's his name? Henry Washington. He was like, oh, I was like on a webinar he was on, and he was like, just post this, and like, he's like, I know 95% of you will not post this, and it's like he like put like a template. And I made the template and sent it to my partner. I still got to post it. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, just post it. You know, like who cares what like, but like, oh, well, who cares what the fuck people are gonna say? I don't know. I don't
They're
know
not
how
gonna
to
say
get over it.
anything.
I gotta
People are
get
not.
over it.
People are not paying attention to you.
Yeah,
There's this
yeah.
book, my favorite book, book called Infinite Jest, written in 1996. So now it makes more sense. But back then, you will be way less concerned with what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do.
I'm gonna write that book down. Hold on one second.
Oh no, no, don't read that book. You're not gonna want to read that book.
No, it's not a good one. So what do you have? All right. So do you have a recommendation
No, I
like that
love
would be
that
like,
book, but you're not gonna like it.
but like towards being extroverted or something like that, or you have a recommendation?
Oh, no, that book is about addiction and suicide. Uh,
Oh, shit. Okay.
that book is about it's a cultural philosophy about postmodernism. Um, book about extroversion. I think what was that book Malcolm Gladwell wrote? Talking to Strangers. There's another one.
Talking to strangers.
Something a book. Bowling alleys. Bowling alone.
Bowling alone.
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's
I'll
what I
check
need
it
to write
out.
my book on. I need to write my book about people.
Dude, you should.
Yeah, that's all I think about every day. Actually, I have this thing called the Networking Bible that I've like sort of. I have like a template book. It's not a real book. But it's I don't know. It's 14 pages. It's something. It's the start of
Yeah,
something. Just like here's how
yeah.
you meet everybody you need to meet.
You definitely do something with that because I'm like,
Yeah,
I would definitely like that's something I'm seeking. Like get out of my comfort zone and ways to do it and how people that have already done it have done it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm in the Better Life Tribe. That's why I follow Bigger Pockets and Brandon. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to invent my own wheel. I'm trying to do something that others have already kind of forged the path of doing.
yeah. There's nothing. Yeah, you don't have to do anything new.
Right. Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
I'm not
I
trying to
mean,
blaze the path.
dude, you right. It's funny because you keep saying I'm an introvert, but I'm trying to break it. This and that. Like, you definitely have. You definitely know that people are gonna be the answer. Like you're like I gotta go meet these people. So, I guess like what's your strategy? That's a good question. Let's get tactical. Like, what's your strategy for meeting
Okay.
people? Because I can probably riff you one off, but I'd be curious if you have one written down.
I do not have one written down, so that's probably a good step to do.
Yeah.
Um,
How would you do it?
I don't know. Well, I got to join a pod. I know that's one thing. I've actually been thinking about leading my own pod, and I thought maybe that would be like if I'm the leader of the pod, that could help.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
hate that.
okay. Also, too, like I posted on Bigger Pockets like a week or two ago about a local meetup in my area, and there wasn't much action. So like I could start one for like real
Yeah,
estate
local
investors.
groups. Yep.
Yeah, there wasn't much action, so I could always start like my own and see what happens
Uh,
from there.
I love all those things. I would do all of the above. So
Okay.
yeah, here's what I would do. One, I would get a local meetup for real estate. You can make that the Better Life meetup, or you can overlap them. Just say, hey, it's Better Life because I don't know where you live, but like there might not meet up people to do two different meetups. But I would definitely do a local meetup. I would start by going to other local meetups. If you've never been to meetup.com, that's a great resource.
Okay.
Meetup.com and local Facebook groups. But like I would definitely um, be very, very involved, if not the face of the local real estate community. Two, yep, your pod and social. Like, dude, it's so weird. It's very uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what Henry said, but like, if you're not telling people on a daily basis what you want, then they're not going to. Then, if you tell people you don't need anything, then you'll get it every time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So like, you have to go on the internet and say, hey, I'm looking for properties in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Once a week, twice a week, once a day. Like, I'm looking for properties in
Yeah.
upstate New York. Who do you know? Who else do you know? So like,
Yeah.
telling people what you do on a big scale, right? And then showing up and being the resource for people. Because what's going to happen with the meetups is, somebody will come one day and they're like, hey, I'm a young kid, da da da. I'm trying to do my first wholesale deal, and I found a deal, but I don't know any buyers. And you're like, perfect.
Yeah.
And then you buy it from him, then he's motivated, then he goes off and gets more because he knows you'll buy. So like the momentum machine just grows. But you have to like show up. I know it's like I know I'm giving you like this heavy extrovert, but like
No,
it's
that's
if
what
you
I
have
want.
yeah, so like the outside conferences are great, but if you already have a market and you already have money, like local, dude, hyper local is where you're gonna excel, I think. So
Yeah.
I would also go online and I would make a list of all the wholesalers who are wholesaling in your area that are out of state, because there's a lot of them. I guarantee you. There's wholesalers that are out of state that are using your zip code to find deals. They're looking for buyers. They're looking for people who are boots on the ground. They're
So how
looking
do
for
I find
contractors.
those?
Oh, Google it. Wholesalers in your like what city you living in?
Kingston, New York.
Yeah, wholesalers in Kingston, New York. Real estate wholesalers in Kingston, New York. Google that and just do some research. Or like,
Okay.
all the websites are usually like we buy houses, Kingston, New York. We buy ugly houses, Kingston, New York. Do that search for a while and just come up with all the names, right? And then email those people and be like, "Hey, I'm a buyer in this area. Add me to your list." But also like, who are you? Like these are just conversations.
Right.
But yeah, if you go mad gorilla, what you'll find is there's not 50 wholesalers in Kingston, New York, I bet, right? My point is, it's like there's people that are doing this, but there's not an infinite. It's like you could
Right.
literally meet
No.
all of them. You could literally
Yeah.
meet all of them and be the guy that they all call
Yeah.
when they have deals.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a small city. I mean, there's only like 40,000 people. Not even. Probably like 35,000 people. And then the surrounding area's got a little bit. Obviously, I don't have to be right in Kingston, but yeah.
Yeah,
So it is pretty small.
right. So you could be the guy,
Yeah.
but nobody knows you're the guy because you haven't told them yet.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. But
100% right.
local meetup and a little bit of digital guerrilla marketing, and just ask every
Okay.
time you talk to somebody now. Like when you ask, "Hey Alex, what do you need?" I'm like, "I need these things," and I go, "Hey Greg, what do you need?" You're like, "I need to know everybody you know in Kingston, in upstate New York. Everybody who you talk to is in upstate New York. I want you to think." That's what I always tell people about Austin. I'm like, Alex in Austin. I'm moving to Austin,
That's
Texas.
cool.
I want everybody you know. Every time you hear one of those two words, Alex. Oh, I know another Alex. He lives in Austin. Or every time I hear the word Austin, I'm like, oh, you got to meet my buddy Alex. That's what I want you to. That's what I want from you. I want to associate those two words together up here. And so you need to go do the same thing where you're like everybody you talk to, you're like Greg in upstate Greg, upstate Greg, and then they
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
start funneling to you, and then you're like, oh, okay. Well, now it's a wholesaler. Now it's a contractor. Now it's a something.
Yeah. And obviously too, like any other like sales type thing or anything like that, like it could take a while. And it's a numbers thing, but that's what I just got to be consistent with it.
Yeah, it takes a while, but what's going to happen is you're going to get a positive feedback loop when you get one deal, and you're like, oh shoot, that worked. Let me get another deal. And then what happens is everybody, dude, the real kicker is when somebody when you buy a house and somebody knows that you close deals. Then they come running. They're like, "Oh, here's a lot of deals because I know you buy." So once you
Right.
start buying wholesale, once you buy the first one, then they're like, "He's serious," because so many people out there are
Right.
just yapping. So once you're like, "I actually bought a house," they come running.
Yeah. That's true. I'm sure they get people all day long that say they want to buy and then they don't close.
And they don't close.
Yeah. No, it's good. Some good advice. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. What else you got?
Cool. Yeah, that was it. Just wanted to see what this is about. It's pretty cool. I like the idea. I like the idea. How many you been doing a day?
I used to do Thursday nights because I had like a day job, and so I was like, okay, Thursday nights I'll just box off 4 hours, and I would do 4 hours of chatting with people, and it was an hour
Hmm.
each, and I did that for a few years, and I didn't really do anything with it. I was just like, oh, this is neat, and then and then that went on for a couple years, and then I probably stopped it in like 22, 21 because my life just became so much travel, and then 23 I lived in Maui. But I recently started it back probably only 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like, oh, let me just do 30 minutes. That was a big help. And then I
Yeah.
started recording them. They haven't really gone live yet. I wish I had the years of them. I wish I had years of them on YouTube still.
Yeah,
But
that'd be cool.
but this week I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah.
So you're getting closer to your 100 person goal.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting now. They're not all Better Life people. Some people like now, somebody who's in GoBundance had a call with me. He's in Better Life and
Okay.
GoBundance, and he had a great time. So he shared the link in the GoBundance, and so now I'm getting people that I'm like, I really don't know them, which I
Oh,
love.
that's cool.
I
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably, oh, yeah, went branching out.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
How's Brandon working for Brandon?
Brandon's cool. He's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
He seems like a
He's
genuine dude.
he is genuine. He is very generous. He is eccentric. He's got his quirks, and you know, he's a human being like all of us. So he's got his, you know, shit that I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking Brandon, why'd you do this? You know. But for the most part, that guy called me up and he was basically like, hey, come out here to Maui for a year and do your dream job. So I will be forever deeply grateful to that guy.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And he tries hard. Like I've learned a lot
Yeah.
from him too about like growth and growth mindset. And yeah, we've had a lot of fun together, I think. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a wild, you know, it's been a wild
Yeah,
journey.
it's just you never know. Like you see people on Instagram too and shit. And it's like some of these people like seem so fake and stuff. It's like they're not like who they seem to be. But like, and I'm sure Brennan has like you said quirks and stuff. But he seems to be from the people I follow, like in that type of world. He seems to be like the most genuine person.
Yeah, he doesn't have a problem with being genuine. Yeah, he's good, and he's when I get him in his zone of genius, like he's unbelievable. You get him on that camera, and he's just so good. Um,
That's cool.
but yeah, we definitely have like yeah, I've definitely found it hard to fit into the island all the way, just because I'm the black sheep in a lot of ways. I feel like everybody here is like
Hmm.
real chill and laid back and happy, and I'm like kind of an antagonist. So you know, I'm definitely we Brandon and I have our differences, but like more like I have differences with the just I don't know. It's just so chill out here, and I don't know. I'm
The
always looking to
vibe, yeah,
fight
it's
people.
like oh yeah, oh yeah. So we're opposite there. Yeah, like I'm. It sounds like I'm more Maui than because I'm just like
No,
more chill vibe and like
no.
I have a
I'm
couple
always
friends
looking to
that
fight
like
somebody. I literally, dude, I loaded the office up with an arsenal of Nerf guns, and now they all stay loaded on my desk. And when people walk by, I just fucking shoot them for no reason. I'm like always stalking somebody in their office and shoot them in the face. It's like
oh
all
my
hostile
god.
on my end.
I have like this one really good friend. He's like every time I'm on the phone with him, he's like fucking cursing someone out, and he's driving, and he's like always angry. He's laying on the horn. I'm like, dude, will you fucking meditate? I'm like, relax. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like, now that you flipped off that person, like, how does that make you feel better? I don't know. But you want to know something
yeah,
funny? But then I went. I don't know. Are you a football fan or no?
no.
Okay. Well, I went to an NFL game last year and I ended up getting in a fucking fight Like I literally fought somebody, and it was like so out of character for me. Like all my friends like didn't even believe me. Like I fucking got into a fight.
Yeah. No, what's interesting is, no, it's my personality. I don't do it for, um, I'm not angry. I'm not doing it like, yeah, I'm not angry. It's fun. I find it fun, like, and like conflict.
Interesting.
Yeah, I find it fun. So, no, it's not me. Like, I'm not flipping people off. I'm not mad. I'm just like, let's fight. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's fight. It'd be interesting.
Like
See what happens.
like your blood pressure doesn't raise, and you're
No,
like that.
no, no. What makes my blood pressure raise is chill.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
the
so
peace. I'm like,
interesting.
the peace and quiet. I'm like, how are you guys just enjoying the day? This is miserable. I want to fight somebody. Yeah,
Yes,
it is what it is.
that's amazing. So honestly, that's so cool because and I know we're a little bit over, so, but because that's why I wanted to get on here. Like, yeah, that's like the total opposite of me. So like, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and
People are different.
it's very interesting to me.
Yeah, it's yeah. It's been hard to. I started going to therapy for this reason. I'm like, why the fuck am I not vibing? And actually, I got a great therapist. He's like, oh yeah, you're not different. Like, oh, you're unique. It's more like you're what attracts people to the island. Like, I would never have come to the island. I'm not. Hawaii was not on my list of. It wasn't even on my list of places to visit. And he's like, what attracts
Right.
people to the island is that lifestyle. So you're just a mix match. You're a mismatch.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way. Just like he's like everybody is like kind of like you said. They're trying to look for the chill. They're looking. They want to enjoy the sunsets and he's like it just does not draw people who want conflict. People who want conflict go to cities. They're like, look at all this
Yeah.
busy mayhem. Like, look at all this stuff. I want to adventure. So, yeah, people are just different. And I think, that's one tip that I could give you when you're like, hey, what's an extrovert tip? Is one, I would take all the personality tests to understand who Greg is better. Like, I like Myers-Briggs. I like Big Five. I like Enneagram. I like Colby test. But understand who Greg is, but then also understand that other people, they literally think and their brains work differently, and that's okay. And there is not a right or wrong way. And so to understand and to appreciate that people are different, and this is where I'm like, I kind of have an advantage, or I don't know if I've learned it or just I'm born this way, but like, I really do like everybody for who they are, not who I think they should be. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh look, Greg's this good and bad. You got flaws and you have superpowers. Like I don't know you, but like I just know people. I'm like, I don't judge you for your flaws and I don't elevate you for your superpowers. I'm like, he's a human being. Brandon's the same way. I love Brandon. He's like tremendous at the thing he's tremendous at, and the things he's bad at, like everybody else, he's bad at them. He's not a
Right.
perfect. There's nobody that's elevated that's like better at. They're not a perfect human being. So everybody just has their differences, and if you can understand that people think and operate like differently and appreciate their differences, it'll give you a huge advantage when talking to people, because then you're not like expecting them to be something that they're not.
When you're just and when you're just out like randomly at, so I'm assuming this is a yes, but like you're just out randomly at say a grocery store or something like that, you're just like literally talking to people. Like if you see
No,
something that interests you or not, no.
not. Yeah, that's a good question. Not really. I'm not the guy who's just. I'll make chit chat, but no, that's I, I find that, well, it's not annoying, but like I do wonder, like when I'm out grocery shopping and just minding my own business, I think people kind of want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And so I respect people's privacy, but like at an event, I will bump in, like we're at in a networking event. I'm like, I am just bumping into you. Like, hey, why are you having fun without me? How dare you?
Yeah.
So context, I think, is important.
Mhm.
I think it's important to like set people up so that you're not just like invading their private life, and then you're like, I need to talk, so I'll drag you into my need of conversation. I really like it when I'm like, this situation, right? Hey, I'm here to talk if you want, and then you're like, yeah, I want to talk. Great, now we're on the same page. Or like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
at an event, you're at an event. Well, we came here to talk, so like let's talk. But like, if you're just minding your own business, I'm not like. I mean, think about the same thing at the grocery store. I think about at the gym. You're at the gym, you get your headphones in, you're trying to work out, and then I'm like, hey, I need friendship. Now it's your problem. Let me just shove my
Yeah, yeah,
life into your life, and you're like, dude, I'm trying to mind my own business here, you know. So I try not to like,
yeah.
um, I'll usually make small talk with like a barista or somebody at the checkout line because they're there like,
There's someone you're interacting with.
yeah, they're like, to talk a little bit. How's your day
Yeah,
going? You know,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Nice.
All right,
Cool.
my dude, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go do a thing, and then I got another call.
No doubt. I
Um,
appreciate your time.
yeah, let me end this. Don't leave.
Okay.